Whispers. I'm here to keep you company while you sleep. And today we're going to be reading about life pro tips on Reddit. Life pro tips. Before we were reading about today, I figured we would change it up. And instead of learning about random historical facts, we're maybe going to learn some stuff that will improve our life, or at least just give us tips to navigate through a little bit easier. It's life pro tips. Come on, do I really need to explain what these things are on Reddit? I don't think I do. I think you guys know what's going on. Life pro tip number one. Productivity. Life pro tip. Recently, some automated customer service phone lines won't let you speak to a person and insist you talk to the machine like a person instead. Yeah, dude, I've experienced that. If you say nonsense words like meet more blurfnorb, good phrase, I like it, over and over, it registers as you needing to talk to a person and transfers you. Can't you just say operator, though? Recently, some automated customer service phone lines won't let you speak to a person and insist you talk to the machine like a person instead. Well, hold on. I'm almost taking issue with this. I've yet to actually find a automated system that will just not talk to you at all. Maybe there's some out there, but I figure if you say operator, operator, operator a bunch of times, it'll finally get you through. I don't know if you need to actually go through this meet more BS. Let's look at a couple of comments. User Oddron said, I simply said cancel my service. I expected to get fast-tracked to a human customer retention specialist, but the robot couldn't be bothered to transform me. After saying yes to a few automated prompts, the robot actually canceled my service. I wish all cancellations were this easy. Okay. That robot doesn't give a fuck about company profits. True. D. Soup. The user that put that. User DJ Dante says pressing 0 and pound a lot helps. I'm gonna disagree with you there. Actually, a lot of times, for example, I was just on the phone with Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas. Hey, if there's any customer service people from Mandalay Bay listening to this, zero chance of that. But anyway, I like talking to myself, so whatever. I was trying to rent a cabana, right? And eventually was actually able to rent a cabana. Just so you guys know, to rent a cabana at Mandalay Bay, at their pool and lazy river and everything, it ain't cheap. It's $1,000 if you want to be on the lazy river. It's about $750 if you want to be at other places. Usually the prices fluctuate, but obviously you're going on the weekend with some friends. So I'm about to drop $1,000 on, that sounded douchey, I'm about to spend $1,000 on a little cabana, a little hut where you chill with your friends on the side of the pool, for those that don't know what a cabana is. And I am trying to rightfully find out the difference between, this is first world, total fucking first world problems here, but I'm going to tell you guys anyway because it's relevant. I wanted to find out the difference between the Delano Beach Club cabanas and the Mandalay Pool cabanas, alright? Because there was a difference of like $200 and they kind of looked similar, but I didn't know if I wanted to pay the little bit extra for the Delano Beach Club. Okay, so that's all I was trying to do. So I call Mandalay Bay, and I specifically call their cabana line. Right away, it's like, hey, the number's not in service. This one, I was like, oh, well, that's awesome. So I call the Mandalay line, trying to get to someone. And then I did this because especially nowadays, it hits you with all the COVID stuff in preparation, and in order to keep safe distancing and blah, blah, blah. All of this automated garbage. When you call any hotel now, it hits you with that first, and you just want to skip it. So yeah, pressed 0. You know what it did to me when I hit 0 or pound? Yeah, you guessed it. It restarted the fucking automated thing. So it's like it punishes you. So what DJ Dante is saying does not work every time pressing 0 and pound a lot helps. No. A lot of times pressing 0 and pound, if it's a shitty automated service, will actually start the automated message over again, and I believe that's in the 6th ring of hell. Right, there's various rings of hell, and I believe the pushing 0 or pound, where it repeats the loop, is one of the rings or layers of hell. So Mandalay, fix it. Fix that crap. You had me stuck in hell there for a while. Well, let's see what did anyone respond to? DJ Dante. VMZ2395 says, coattailing the top comment to say cursing at the robots helps too. If you shout curse words, it can detect anger and get you a person. My wife was lost in a phone maze for 10 minutes, so I shouted, get me the f***ing operator, and immediately went to a human. I guess. Eep, oop, ort, and that means I love you, says Mortis the cat. Okay, cool. I am over this life pro tip. Let's see if other ones are a little more pro tippy, if you will. This one only has 391 upvotes. Let's see if it's any good. Life pro tip. When putting eye drops into your eyes, you can keep them closed and instead pour the drop into the inside corners. When you open them, the eye drop will easily spread out. Okay, I guess. I'm fine with it going directly in my eye. In fact, if your eyes are really fucked up, you want them to go directly in your eyes. You're like, please just like wash whatever is out of my eyes. Dude, you guys want to hear a crazy story? Like, I mean, it's not going to be so crazy because I would really have to act it out, and this is a whisper video, but I'll just kind of like, I'll try to make it quick. I used to wear contact lenses, and I ran out of contact solution, and so this one time I got this saline solution from work, aka salt water, which I didn't know. I was young, stupid, had no idea. It was eye wash from the medical cabinet at work. So I take this eye wash, and I, thinking it's the same thing as eye wash solution, use it to overnight soak my contacts. I put my contacts into my eyes the next day, and they kind of burned a little bit, but I thought it's just because the contacts were really clean. It was just kind of like, I thought there was dirt on my eyeballs or something, and it was getting them off. It's hard to explain. I was f***ing dumb, dude. Okay, so anyway, I didn't drive at the time. I had to take the bus. By the time I was from my house to where I was going 3 miles away, I looked like a goddamn fly, and everyone on the bus was terrified of me, and I couldn't even see. My eyeballs were getting burned out of my fucking head because I had salt water. I had found a way to effectively take salt and slap it directly onto my eyeballs via contact lens. Okay, so I was, you know, when you pour salt all over a slug and it melts, did that to my eyes. That's my life pro tip, is never ever do that. Don't be me. Life pro tip, okay? And by the way, it took me like 2 days for my eyeballs to go back to normal. We had to call poison control and everything, and I laid down. Thank God I had angels for roommates, and they completely tended to me. I was just like on my bed for 2 days, thought I was going to lose my vision, couldn't see for those 2 days, by the way. Slowly had to get my vision back, and my eyes like began to, what's the opposite of swell? Lessened. When the swelling lessened. Someone in the comments, right? What's the opposite of swell? Anyway, they got better after 2 days, like I said. Thank God. Okay, moving on. Life pro tip: higher education does not always mean that you will get more job opportunities. Amen, dude. I didn't set the timer. I have to set a timer really quick. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay. I figure we've been going for 5 minutes already, so I set one for 15 minutes. And if we've been going for longer, this will just be a longer video. I try to shoot for like 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Yeah, higher education does not always mean that you will get more job opportunities at all. You have any idea how many friends I know that are in hell paying off their student loans and they can't find a job? I have been very fortunate. Before I actually get into my story, let's read some comments here, see what people have to say. And actually, I want to read the rest of what OP has to say because I just saw a blurb that probably reflects what I was going to say. They say, and by they I mean user Snarky and Cozy. They're the ones that submitted this life pro tip. Before deciding on your career, see what jobs get the best prices. If this wasn't a whisper video, I would be clapping my ass off. I don't mean clapping with my ass cheeks, you know what I mean. I mean actually clapping to show this person my appreciation through applause. Okay? Because that is the right answer, I'm sorry to say. The job you want might not be worth the degree. Is this me writing this? This person is writing everything I would be telling you guys. I'm just going to read what Snarky and Cozy's saying. Before deciding on your career, see what jobs get the best prices. The job you want might not be worth the degree. Community college and trade schools are perfectly acceptable ways to get degrees as well. Your degree does not have to cost an arm and a leg. While getting a job you love would be nice, but too often you have to settle for a job in order to pay the bills, rent, and make sure that you're fed. Look for secondhand books for your college. Your local librarian can help you find them. You can't always get a job that you want that pays the right amount. Sometimes you need to have backups. So, agree 100,000%. Alright? Just really quick, I want to see what Pawn79 has to say. I used to have a chart, 2016, that listed STEM bachelor degrees awarded versus jobs in those fields. Biology had the worst degree-to-job ratio. I could see that. Systems engineering was 1-to-1. Cybersecurity had the best degree-to-job ratio. I've yet to find a chart like that again. I can't even find the original. If you're in high school thinking about getting college loans, it would be really helpful to consult such a chart. Yeah. Alright, that's enough with that. I just want to share my experience and why I completely side with what Snarky and Cozy, the OP of this, was saying. My bread and butter comes from engineering, manufacturing engineering specifically. I am very good with designing tools and designing things using CAD, computer aided design, 3D stuff, fancy 3D. Everyone knows what CAD is nowadays, pretty much because of video games, but I do that stuff for engineering, mainly aerospace and automotive, and it pays very well. I was able to do it by going to you could say a trade school. Technically it was a university, but the university I went to offered certificates for the CAD programs that are implemented in aerospace and auto. So I pretty much took a shortcut. I just got certified in a program, literally software, that is used widely in automotive and aerospace. And with that certificate, mind you, there were several certificates. I took several courses in this program, and by doing that, I was able to, it cost me a total of everything being said and done, honestly, everything, room and board, the certificate courses themselves, about $4,000, $4,000, okay, and that was over the course of about 7 or 8 months, and studying my ass off, mind you. It's not like I just took those and I was good at it. I was really, really good. I was top of the class, but that teamed with, paying my way into it, getting really good at that, I was able to secure 70s, 80s, 90s right out of the gate with those certificate courses. And I would highly recommend it because there's jobs out there, even engineers themselves, even after this is 2021 now, just in case this ages like milk, there are actual engineers out there that I work with that just came out of 4-6-year degrees, 4-year degrees, and they are heavily in debt in student loans, and they're barely making what I made when I came out just with a certificate. So I absolutely recommend going to trade schools, plumbing, electrician, all of that kind of stuff, and get a good paying job. Don't spend on the big fancy degrees. Get yourself an awesome job with those without the student loans, and guess what? You might be eating lobster sooner than you know. Okay, that was enough of a rant on the life pro tips. I might have to edit some of that out because it was a bit rhetorical. Oh my god, this is a long life pro tip. Well, it is definitely good advice. Do not talk to the cops without a lawyer. Just remember that respect and tact still go a long way. If you flex your rights to a cop in a rude and condescending manner, they can still do a lot to ruin your day. Well, yeah, but like, all of it is... I don't even know if I want to touch this one. I guess it's just been hammered into my head so many times by so many things on social media and just media in general. Lawyer, 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 don't talk to the cops. And you know what? I feel like even if you spoke to a cop, they would tell you the same thing. Because I feel like cops aren't there to actually not incriminate you. They're literally there to incriminate you, aren't they? I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm curious what a cop thinks about that. Zero chance a cop is watching this right now, but if any of you have friends or family, or on the off chance that the one or two people watching this are officers, would you leave in the comments, tell me what you think about that? Would a cop say to lawyer up? Would a cop just say like, no, it's fine, you can tell us stuff, it's okay, we're not gonna bust you if you're cool or anything like that, don't worry about a lawyer. I want an honest cop's opinion. Okay, first comment is by Max Kuthane. It says, holy shit, this comment section is bad. This is 100% just good advice that you should always stick to. This isn't bootlicking. This is just avoiding conflicts 101. This would work in just about any situation, not just when dealing with law enforcement. Dealio for NY. Dealio for New York says, nice to know that you recognize that cops will with you for their own pleasure. Cool. I'm over this life pro tip. I'm starting to think the Today I Learned section is a little bit better. Maybe, like, who are the people that really write these life pro tips? Am I getting life pro tips from like a 12-year-old? Not to say I have anything against 12-year-olds. It's just I have a hard time believing a 12-year-old is going to have experienced more life than me, a 41-year-old man, has. And literally they haven't. I've experienced 41 minus 12 more years than they have. What do you think of that? I don't know if we should be here. Okay, I need to sort by popular. This is hot. All this stuff is considered hot. Let's go to top for this week, because I don't know if we're coming back here. Okay, here we go. Mod pick, life pro tip. One of the most important questions you can ask in a debate or argument is, what proof or evidence would it take to change your mind or opinion? If they can't give you an answer, or if they refuse to accept the evidence that they asked for, then quit wasting your time arguing with that person. I agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, and the reason I agree with that is you can kind of like see that in your head. If you did ask someone that question, what proof or evidence would it take to change your mind? And then that person says what it would take, and if you can't refute it, or if you can't actually come back with what they're looking for, maybe you're the asshole. So I like this a lot. Let's see what the first comment is. Comment by whatever. To change someone's mind on an issue, you have to show them your viewpoint aligns with their core beliefs, and if it doesn't, they will never ever agree with you. I could see that. Suicide Squirrel says, every Reddit argument, think twice before responding. Sure. Baldwin Bean replied to that, saying the amount of times I've typed out a reply and deleted it. And BGP001 says, ask yourself the same question first. I guess. What's the difference between you asking yourself the same question? They just asked you. The tone of your own voice. I don't know. And It Was Bread said a bunch of shit, but it's too many words, so I don't care. And then Infernet hit us with a, to be fair, if I was aware of what proof I needed to demonstrate I was wrong, I would have checked for it already. Frequently, an argument requires walking the other down an avenue of thought that does not occur to them. The evidence at the end was not something they could have thought of needing. Now I'm going to fart in a wine glass and sniff it. That fart has legs. I'm leaving this. I'm going to something else. 50.3 thousand upvotes. Animals and pets life pro tip. When a pet has a mid to late stage terminal illness, don't go through its life too long, especially cats. They cannot tell you they are suffering. Yes, we want more time with them, but not if they are hurting. I don't know. I sound like an asshole here. I think, according to the 50,000 upvotes, I sound like an asshole, but look, we've had a cat for going on 14 years, alright? It's had cancer twice, where it seemed like it was on death's door. The cancer was removed. It was able to be removed in both scenarios where the situation seemed dire, right? And each time within a month, full recovery, running around, and it was fine. So I think an addendum to this should also be, don't give up on them too early. If it has, again, the caveat being, when a pet has a mid to late stage terminal illness, but then again, this cat had cancer and it could have been terminal, right? They didn't know. So, and then don't go through the brutal and extraordinary measures to extend its life too long. When do you know? I can't believe I'm saying this, but I disagree with this. I disagree with 50,000 people right now. I think you should stick it to the end. And by the way, don't take me out early either. I got one of my best friends. I said something when we were young, dude, when we were like teens, and I still remember this shit. He said, "Hey, dude, if I'm ever in a coma, if there's money, if we've still got money, and you can afford to have me in the hospital, or I'm connected to life support or whatever the hell it is, do not unplug me. Never ever think, oh man, he looks like he's in bad shape. He wouldn't want to live like this." That, dude, you have no idea. I could be having the best dream ever. There could be like and money, which I actually get to spend in a perpetual dream, unlike the dreams where you have money and then you immediately wake up and you're like, oh shit, well now I'm in a nightmare because I lost all that money. No, if you're in the coma just forever and whole of your life, straight up Inception, like awesome Inception forever, but not the Inception, the good Inception. Point is, you don't know, so don't go around just unplugging your cats, is what I'm getting at. Alright, I'm moving on now. I hope I ruffled some feathers there, but hopefully I saved the life of a couple of animals by a couple of months. I'm gonna move on to the next video now. Hopefully this is actually recorded. And we'll move on to a couple of other ones. Alright. Cool. Oh yeah, we're done here. I'll see you guys later, or I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night if you're not listening already. Or if you're gonna let this roll over into the next video, then enjoy the next commercial if there's any commercials. Oh.